The answer is yeah. I'd like to see a Spider-Man 4. He is with Mary Jane, isn't that like a line he
Yeah.
alludes to in No Way Home? So that would,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't want to see Black Cat come in here and try to interrupt the love. We kind of got 3 straight movies of lovey-dovey relationship stuff. So no, let's just show a strong couple. Let the focus of the movie be the villain, whoever that is. Let him address what happened in No Way Home. And with Spider-Man movies flopping like Venom, sorry, I said Venom. I should have said Morbius and what Craven is eventually going to do. When we have these things flop,
No more
Sony's going to be,
villains.
they're going to say, oh, what are we doing? Oh, we can't. Okay, multiverse. We're going to make
El
a Spider-Man
Muerto.
4.
Yeah.
I can't wait for El Muerto to sweep the box office.
What else,
Well,
Chill?
Kristen Dunst is down to return too. Why did Big Bro write that without capital letters? See, that's what throws me off. Everything else he writes is capitals. And then he goes and he makes a effort to put Kristen and Dunst with capital letters. And then he says she down to return to with lowercase.
You can tell
I know that has
it was
nothing
That's
to do with
pretty
your question,
proper.
Ashley, but I noticed these things, Big Bro. God.
I mean, he's posted other comments like that after just the first two words. Or
See, it must be like his phone automatically does it, but his laptop
And it's
doesn't.
also a name, though. Kristen
Yeah,
Dunst is a
that
name.
too.
So that one is.
yeah,
Chillmonger doesn't know the grammar correctly.
but
I'm more mad at the inconsistency.
holy fuck.
You see how quiet he
Yeah.
is? Look, I dissed him like what 30 seconds ago, and he's still
Well,
not
his
ready.
comment takes a little while to load. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
loading up.
Well, you know, that's what these Canadians do, man. When we was on Chillmonger's stream, I think this is his revenge because he was surrounded by so many Americans on that stream,
we
and those
make your
Americans was
stream better.
represented.
Kdot, we make your stream better. We improve it.
I had an Alaskan, so that's basically Canadian.
That's technically still
That's my
America.
thing.
Wait, no.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
Alaska one of the 50 states now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
It's
one of
Alaska's
ours.
a part of the U.S.
It's also a province. You guys didn't know?
No, it's not.
You guys need to-
It's a fake state. It really should be a province.
I
You're
mean,
lucky I had you on that stream. I told you it was all new guests on Chillmonger, and you snuck in. The answer to your question, Ashley, is yes to Spider-Man 4. Tobey Maguire, yes, let's do it. And let's actually have a villain and actually like a Spider-Man story that isn't going to be mixed with other things. And there's not really like a group effort, and there's not really Kevin Feige overseeing it. Because, you know, he's not going to have to. It's a whole other universe. Who cares what happens? It's something I'm interested in seeing, and I can separate the universes. I think the casuals, after watching No Way Home, after watching Loki, after watching this multiverse movie, Doctor Strange, I think they understand, oh, so that franchise is a universe, this is another universe, and they kind of get it by now.
I just hope.
Yeah.
I just hope for 4, right? If he does it, I want him to get the same level of creative control he had for 1 and 2, not 3, because 3 he had to put in shit he didn't want to. Just let him come in there, do what he did. Let him get the same treatment he had for 1 and 2. Let him make 4, then be done. That's like, if he wants to do it, let him do it. But Sony has to allow him to do it. That's the thing. Is Sony. It doesn't matter what Kevin Feige can say or whatever. Maybe Kevin Feige can put in a good word and Amy Pascal like, yo, it's popping off. We can try to make it some MCU type of, like, I don't know. Maybe Feige can put in the word to help make it happen. But that's if Sony budgets. I think they'll budge because, you know, Sony they making bullshit, so they need some money. They might.
I think they don't look at money or critics. They just like if the cast had fun making this movie, we can make another one.
Oh,
They
but-
just like they said they just go through, you know, Spider-Man comics and they're like, that character. Let's make a movie about that.
Nah,
character.
they be
They're like,
actually
That's Spider-Man.
they
Spider-Man
flip through like 6 pages, like turn this into a movie.
They're like,
Turn this
I
into a
mean,
movie.
it's just
you know
like
what
they're like,
you know what they're gonna make? They're gonna make next the Peter science teacher from Spider-Man 1.
Oh,
probably.
you know, they should make a film for Big Wheel.
Let's see if we can hear. I want to get to the part where he's talking about Tom Holland. And
I don't.
so this-
I had a
This
question
scares me.
from another community member called 77 Lars 18 that wanted to know if you had any initial plans back then for Spider-Man 4.
Oh yeah, we had a script
Here he
years
goes.
ago, and we were actively working in pre-production.
About
It's just
Craven.
that it became a thing where there was a deadline,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to make something that was less than great. I thought I had compromised a bit on Spider-Man 3, and I wanted to really pay the audience back on Spider-Man 4 and make the best Spider-Man of all. And I couldn't get the script together in that amount of time. So I told Sony, I think it's best if you go ahead with your planned alternate Spider-Man storyline, because I don't want to let the audience down.
That's really great of you. I mean, but we're still waiting for that one movie. And now let's talk Doctor Strange. I got to see the first 20
just
minutes.
throw
Up
shade at
front. Really
Spider-Man
liked
3
it.
again?
Yeah.
Huh?
I want to pull his hair.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He's
I want
Yeah.
to beat
Cut
his
off his
ass.
hair.
Yeah.
That's
Pull
a
his
good-
hair
that's still a
and
good
cut it
movie. You
off.
better stop
You know,
throwing
he
shade.
kind of has
Yeah.
the same hair as me, so I want to cut it because I can only have that haircut.
Good for you, Sean.
I have
Yeah,
no idea what you
thanks.
look like.
Oh yeah, well he
Yeah.
has like the same hair as me, and that pisses me off now that he said something that's stupid. That's a disgrace to people with that haircut.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it.
Yeah, that was such a weird comment to his answer. Honestly. That was so
See,
weird.
he's trying to sneak this, but not this. Like he's being so.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you know, I wanna jump through the screen. I wanna slap him and cut off his beard. Like stop
His goatee.
disrespecting the homie.
Yeah, it really is disrespect. Like he's
Like,
done
he doesn't-
enough.
Yeah, he really doesn't. It's like you're
He's like, you made
talking
like two of the best comic book movies ever, and then did this. I'm like,
Mhm.
dude, how many times are we gonna diss Spider-Man 3? He's like,
Yeah, he
You
is
get
like
it, you hate it,
dissing
you get
it, and like Sam Raimi is being so nice and
Yeah.
respectful and peaceful, and he's just like, your movie was trash, basically. And Sam Raimi has so much grace, doesn't he? And he just like, okay, I get it. And Sam Raimi might be thinking, I think it's trash too, because
he
just
literally said it
X, Y,
kind
and
of
Z, you
like
know?
he was like, I let down fans with 3, but I'm trying to bring them back with 4. And then he even put more salt on the wound by saying, yeah, we should have gotten the other film to make it better. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
He did say that. I mean, and like I like, he really appreciates the characters too. So that's really
Yeah.
cool, and he knows
knows to make
the
the best
world that
Spider-Man.
he's dealing with. I know he didn't make he made good Spider-Man films for the time. Okay,
Oh my gosh.
You mean for the time?
I'm about to say same thing for Tom Holland. Homecoming was good for the time.
Homecoming is
wasn't.
better than all 3 of Toby's films put together.
No. Make me ban you.
Okay.
I'm ban you if you say that again.
You gonna ban me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
God,
know I
Homecoming
just
is not
become
even
like that
better than
man.
like the average coming of age
Yes, it
high
is.
school film.
Yes, it is.
What the heck, anime?
We're not debating. Yeah.
So just
It
to
is
answer your
better.
question quickly, Kdot, I mean, yeah, I would like if Spider-Man 4 happens, cool. If it doesn't, though, cool. That's fine as well. But I mainly
Yeah.
want Andrew to return. That's the main thing. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Bye, anime guide. So good to see you again. Appreciate you. Oh gosh. what
Sam
you're
Raimi
saying.
wanted to redeem himself with Spider-Man 4. I hear him.
Yeah, he did.
Really saw your style in the intro. I really
So,
loved. There was
He's
a
talking
particular
about the
shot,
first
I'm not
20
gonna
minutes
spoil.
he saw. Here
Ah.
comes
Found
the
out
freaking
Google
ad.
was doing
Yay,
first
I don't
to-
have ad blockers on right now, guys. I'm sorry. I had to reinstall my extension.
That dog would be a better Spider-Man than Tom Holland.
Hell yeah.
No.
Well, Tom Holland is a dog.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there's the Black Phone trailer. Guys.
Yeah, there's Tom Holland.
Oh,
And there's
that
Kevin
new,
Feige.
horror movie.
And isn't it bizarre? Because
Yeah.
back in Spider-Man 2, the name Doctor Strange was dropped by J.K. Simmons' character, J. Jonah Jameson.
What are we gonna call this guy?
Dr. Octopus.
That's crap.
Science Squid.
Crap.
Doctor Strange.
That's pretty good.
Multiverse
said
of
J.
Turn
Jonah.
back in Spider-Man
Now
2,
you
baby.
can take credit for Benedict Cumberbatch's career as a superhero, can you?
No, I don't think so. I think that was just a the screenwriter put that in this script. We thought it was really funny. We all loved Doctor Strange, and we were part of the Marvel story back then, and so it just turned out to be coincidence.
And in the past, when talking about Spider-Man, you always talk about how much Peter Parker means to you as a character. He means a lot to nerds out there, like nerds like me. What is Doctor Strange to you? What does that tell you?
For me, he's, as the comic book states, the master of the mystic arts. He's my guide into the world beyond. And it's really cool how much he knows about the spiritual world, other dimensions, and how much he's going to learn about the multiverse in this film. But for me, he's a very capable and mysterious figure that I love following as he works to protect our universe and our world from mysterious and dangerous magical threats from beyond.
Mm-hmm. How challenging was it to continue both Stephen Strange's journey from his very own first film and also Wanda Maximoff's story, who starred in her own TV show WandaVision? Because these two Marvel projects were so different from one another. One was this supernatural, magical superhero blockbuster, and the other one was kind of a sitcom, kind of a dramedy. How do you combine these two and make it organic?
That exactly was one of our biggest challenges to work in the script. I think
world,
our writer, Michael Waldron, did a great job of weaving these stories together and these tones together. I think because it's a Doctor Strange movie, it took on a more serious tone of the main character's style. But we were true to Wanda's background and where she had been as a character. And we picked up our story from that point forward. Same with the story of Stephen Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch plays. That was one of the greatest challenges of this movie, was taking all the threads of where Marvel had left the characters from Wanda after WandaVision, from Doctor Strange after not just Doctor Strange 1, but the Avengers movies, of the universe itself after Thanos had been through it, and combining all of those realities as a starting point and moving forward from there. It was a little bit of a juggling act.
Absolutely. I can imagine. I can't even picture what it must be like to pick up where other people left off, and you now basically are on the playground and you get to play with these characters and do your own thing, but still keep it in continuity. Must be a tricky thing to do.
It's kind of like that game Dodgeball, I think.
Yeah.
Where once you're out, you're hit by the ball, you're out, and suddenly you get back in and you're in the middle of the action and you just have to field those balls and play the best you can.
And now that you got to work on both Doctor Strange and Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, is there another Marvel character, an existing Marvel character in the Marvel universe at the moment that you would like to tackle yourself?
I love so many of them that I think it would come down to, they would all be great if there was a good story for that character at that time. If that character had a unique challenge, had somewhere to grow to, something to learn, something that was meaningful for their character, his or her journey as a human being, I'd be interested.
I'm looking forward to that as well. Then we got a few MCU questions. I got a question from another community member called, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Maya H04
Hopefully this
wants
is the
to know,
question.
what is it like to return to Marvel after all these years? I mean, it's been a while.
It was great because Kevin Feige, who's the president and main producer on all these films, really the main creative voice, even though there was a lot of voices there, was an assistant on the 3 Spider-Man films that I made. Thank goodness that was nice to him. But anyways, Kevin pulled me in for an interview on Doctor Strange 2. And I said to them, here's what I thought of the script. Here's what I think we need to do. Here's how I'd like to move forward if you guys will have me as the director. But just know this, and I've often run into problems with production teams on this point. I say, I need 10 storyboard artists starting tomorrow. I need 6 animators starting tomorrow. I need 2 character design people starting tomorrow. And I'm not exaggerating. And Kevin leaned in. I knew I was going to have a problem because I always do. Usually the studio says, we're not spending that kind of money. We don't hire this many storyboard artists. You can have 1 or 2. So Kevin leans forward and says, Sam, you're not going to have 10 storyboard artists. You're going to have 20. And you're not going to have 3 animators. You're going to have 12. And I thought, oh my gosh, he knows how to do this. Of course, he's been making these movies. It's not a new thing for him. He's taken what we did together.
So what do we think about that?
So, I mean, that was cool of Feige to do,
I mean, it's easy to when you have a bunch of blood money from ruining all these characters over the
Oh
years.
my gosh.
But I like it. I like that, he's being like,
I mean, that he
as
has
producer, Feige is willing to give everybody their redemption and stuff. And, like I said, I think that's cool that he gave Raimi this opportunity again, because Raimi probably thought when he was coming back in, like, oh, I might go through another Sony situation. Like, nah.
Now, Sean? Enlighten us with your wonderful opinion now, please.
Well, if John Krasinski was in charge, he would have like 80 at least storyboard writers, and artists.
Wow. Chill, did you get to hear any of that? What he was talking about? What were your thoughts?
It makes me want, like, I guess I can't actually have what's the X-Men writer, that guy, Bryan
Singer.
I can't have him, but it makes me want the guys from prior Marvel movies to get a second go at it, because they know the value of the staff that they will be given, and the resources that they didn't have at the time will make them make use, not take for granted, what we can do with a competent producer, Kevin Feige, steering the ship.
I want that guy who directed the first Blade movie to come back. He should be the one directing Blade, Stephen Norrington.
You know what? Yeah, how much better of a movie could he make?
Caden, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think he's got
Hold on.
You're fine. Dot, anything else to add?
But nah, I messed with it. And since Feige did work with them, he was in there being sneaky and stuff, working behind the scenes all these years and stuff. He's like, dang, Feige's like, he's like Sidious, just sitting there behind the scenes, waiting to fly. And he's like, ooh, I'm gonna do my own cinematic universe now. I've been on X-Men, all these movies. I know what to do. Now I'm about to start my own shit. But now he's including people into his own shit that he got popping off. So I respect it.
You respect Feige?
I respect Shook Feige. I respect his pimping.
Shook Feige.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Caden had
he
to
does
leave.
He does need to go to prison for his gang-related activities with Shook Knight, though.
Yes. Let's see what else he has. Let's see if I think that hopefully the Spider-Man question
He's
should come out here in a
expanded
moment.
And this is now a machine, a well-oiled machine for making superhero movies. So I was incredibly elated and surprised at how ready they were in the right way to make the movie. And I don't just mean by spending money. I think my example may have been seems like it's about spending money, but it isn't. It's about knowing where to spend the money, knowing that you don't want to build a big set, spend the money there. You want to spend it all in the planning and design stages. And because things move in 3 dimensions with superhero movies, a storyboard often isn't good enough. You can't just show a little figure of a man leaping over a building and landing, because the camera is making a 360-degree move throughout the course of that 4-second shot. So what you might be able to imagine is the first frame in a still storyboard. The second frame may have to actually be plotted based on real geometry of the location. Mm-hmm. And the third definitely has to be. So it gets compounded, the complexity of it, as you proceed. To make it really dynamic, you have to take these factors into consideration, and you need the tools to do that nowadays. And they are so ready with the tools.
Have you ever listened to Quentin Tarantino talking about your movies? He's been on record talking about Evil Dead 2, and he calls it...
I saw something. Sorry, I don't know if it's the same thing you're talking about, though.
He was talking to Eli Roth. I was talking about how extraordinary it is and how influential it was to him. And now looking at how the comic book genre has evolved after you basically laid the groundwork, how does that feel?
I've always felt a little bit like a house painter, and it's like Picasso likes the way you painted that house.
Oh, wow.
So it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, I imagine it is, but he's spot on. I'm sorry. There's another community question. It was sent in by cinelexplus.de. He wants to know if there are other Marvel projects in the work that you are attached to, sir.
No,
No.
there's no other Marvel projects I'm attached to right now.
Bullshit.
Okay. And
Can you rewind that? Can you play back the last 10 seconds just to see how long
Yeah,
he played it
he was
before he thought he could
thinking.
answer it?
No.
Okay, and Dennis Mus Bummling. That's another.
Yeah, this does really good. He's
wants
gonna
to
be
know
back for
if
something
you
else.
have a favorite
Probably Doctor
MCU
Strange 3.
Oh wait, I didn't go
I
back.
know
Oh,
that's a
fuck,
tough one
no.
because the portfolio of Marvel projects in the work.
I want to see him
that
do a
you
Superman
are
movie. He did a
attached
job
to.
on that.
Yo, he's thinking.
No.
Yeah.
There's no other Marvel projects I'm attached to right
He
now.
did take
Liar.
it. Yeah, he was
And,
thinking.
Dennis Mus Bummling. That's another community.
Here it
member, wants
is.
to know
Here's the fake
if you
news.
do have a favorite MCU character. I know that's a tough one because the portfolio of characters is so huge.
I think that Spider-Man has always been my favorite MCU character, mostly because of the reason that everyone else loves him. He's identifiable as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
He's got problems. He's got bad skin. He's got to do his homework. He doesn't have enough money, and yet he struggles to do the right thing. He puts everything he's got. He sacrifices everything to do the right thing, and it's really somebody you can identify with and look up to. And it embodies the thing I love about a great superhero movie, which is I could do that. A little part of that could be me. And if they tell the story right, you leave the theater saying, it will be me.
This just described Peter Parker to a T. This is how we see him as well. Final question, because this being Movie Pilot, that's our website, that's our channel. I have a final question from another community member called Olio Illo, who wants to know, what's your all-time favorite movie and why?
All-time favorite movie.
It changes, just like flavors change. Like, what's your favorite flavor? I would say today that my all-time favorite movie is The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Warner Brothers picture directed by John Huston and starring
Warner Brothers film.
Humphrey Bogart and
Man, it
Houston's
ain't the
father,
Warner
Walter
Brothers,
Huston,
you know.
and Tim Holt.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your
you.
time. It was amazing to finally get to meet you.
Great to be.
So, Dot, how does that make you feel?
What? He was talking about Spider-Man, not Tom Holland.
No,
Yeah,
his
yeah,
favorite
that's right. He
character
said
in the
Spider-Man
MCU.
specifically.
Yeah, but he was forced to say Spider-Man for
He was
obvious
not
reasons.
forced to- He could have said Doctor Strange. He's literally
No,
directing
because
a
he
Doctor
doesn't
Strange
want
movie.
to jerk himself
He
off
could have
since
said
he's making the
Wanda.
Doctor
He could have
Strange film.
said so many other characters. He could have said Captain America. He could have said
No, because he's
He
worked
could
on
have said-
Spider-Man before, so he has to say
Nah.
Spider-Man.
Right, it makes like that's it. Let's say if that was freaking, that could have been freaking, it could have been Richard Donner. Could have directed a Superman movie. Let's say he came back to direct another Superman movie. He'd say, "Well, my favorite character is Superman." I mean, like,
You understand?
because you directed Superman, of course.
Even with the evidence in his face from Dot's like savior, Sam Raimi, telling him these things.
He was
He
held at
doesn't believe
gunpoint.
it. My husband was not there, so there were no guns.
Yeah, there was a rocket launcher held at him behind the scenes by Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Man,
doesn't
this
do
all
that.
look, Sam Raimi, I love you, man, but this all I gotta say.
Well, you know,